With 1.2 being a more relaxed but solid update overall, there is a lot of hype starting to build up surrounding the 1.3 version update. Even though it is quite a while away, it's a bit difficult to not think about how massive 1.3 is going to be, since it's confirmed that we are going to the Black Shores, as the Shorekeeper, which is from the Black Shores, is going to be our first 5-star character of 1.3. So along with the new area, there will be a ton of additional stuff to expect, such as new echoes, new events, and new features. Also, as we are visiting the Black Shores, it likely means we will be seeing a few new characters and a few familiar faces, which would include Camellya. So with that, I'll be going over when we should expect Camellya to drop and everything to expect from the 1.3 version update. Just before we dive in, as always, would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel for more WutheringWaves content and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Now, as I mentioned, it is pretty much confirmed that we are going to the Black Shores in 1.3, due to where the last main story act finished, and of course since the Shorekeeper will be the first and only new 5-star dropping in 1.3. As for the Black Shores area itself, it has already been revealed through the beta test, so we already know what the new area will look like. However, an updated look of the Black Shores has been teased recently from an official WutheringWaves developer on Twitter, so you can see the secret Black Shores base there and it does look really nice. But from the image, I don't think the Black Shores area will be that big and is going to be slightly smaller than Mount Firmament, or it might just be the same size. Also, the map might have a couple of layers just like in Mount Firmament, so there could be a lot more to the area, but we wouldn't exactly know till 1.3 drops. Aside from the size of the area, it does look extremely dark, which kinda lives up to its name, the Black Shores, but I definitely do expect the area to look much nicer with updated visuals when we are able to see the area for ourselves in 1.3. Now with the new area, it is standard to expect for there to be brand new echoes to drop. So just like how we received 6 brand new echoes in 1.1, being 3 1-cost echoes and 3 3-cost echoes, we could definitely expect a similar amount of new echoes to drop in 1.3. In terms of the exact sets the echoes will be a part of, it would only make sense for the set with the least amount of echoes to receive a few new ones. So the Sun Sinking Eclipse set, for example, having the least, should definitely receive a few new echoes to make it much easier to build the Havoc set. Now with 1.1, we also did receive a brand new 4-cost echo, being Jiyan, so I believe we should definitely be receiving a brand new 4-cost echo as well in 1.3. Maybe not a new weekly boss, as having 5 weekly bosses by 1.3 would be a bit much. So it would just be an open world boss like Crownless or the Inferno Rider. More specifically into the new 4-cost echo, just like how Jiyan was pretty much made for Jianxin, the new 4-cost echo of 1.3 does have potential to be tailored for the Shorekeeper, as the Shorekeeper will be the first character in 1.3 and does play a significant role in the story, given she has been the guardian of the Black Shores for billions of years, so it would be fair to see a dedicated 4-cost echo for her. Through speculation, the Shorekeeper is shaping to be our first limited support character, so she is expected to heal and provide buffs just like Verina, which would mean the Rejuvenating Glow set is likely the set the Shorekeeper will want to use, meaning the new 4-cost echo is likely going to be for the Rejuvenating Glow set. Now we already do have a strong 4-cost echo in the Rejuvenating Glow set, being the Bell Turtle, since he is able to provide damage reduction, increases resistance to interruption, and increases the damage dealt from the character on field. So if we do end up receiving a new 4-cost echo from the Rejuvenating Glow set, they will have quite a bit of potential, as they would likely be better than the Bell Turtle. So maybe providing an even stronger damage buff and much more protection will be something to definitely expect, which will also make it an amazing universal echo for all supports including Verina. Now echoes aside, considering there will be a brand new story quest, we should definitely expect Havoc Rover to receive at least 2 more sequence nodes. I believe we received 2 sequence nodes for Spectral Rover and only 1 for Havoc Rover in the 1.1 update. So 2 additional sequence nodes for Havoc Rover would be fair to expect, since Spectral Rover is now at S6. Of course, as time goes by, Havoc Rover becomes less valuable as a character, as we are receiving more powerful DPS characters each update. However, she is still a great DPS overall that can be used as a main DPS or a sub DPS. And since it hasn't been that long into the game, I'm sure a lot of players are still using Havoc Rover for clearing content, or some just really like her design, which is understandable. Now looking into the next two sequence nodes for Havoc Rover, S4 would reduce Havoc resistance by 10% for 20 seconds when either using the heavy attack or Resonance Liberation. So it would be a good damage buff being a 10% resistance shred, and this sequence node would make Havoc Rover even stronger in the sub DPS position. Since as a sub DPS, you would rely on Havoc Rover to deal more burst damage, which would be from the Liberation mostly, and with this sequence node you would reduce the Havoc resistance on enemies for the Havoc main DPS on your team to deal even more damage. Currently, we only have Danjin that would be able to utilize the Havoc resistance shred, but later on when a new Havoc main DPS does release, which is definitely going to be soon, they would benefit greatly from Havoc Rover dropping a nuke on the enemy and also being able to reduce their resistance to Havoc damage. So it makes S4 quite a valuable sequence node for sure. As for S5, it's a bit of a niche upgrade, but nevertheless, Havoc Rover's final hit from the basic attack string will deal 50% more damage when in the Dark Surge state. So this would definitely be better for a main DPS Havoc Rover, which will be dealing a lot of basic attacks and following through with the final hit. So overall, it may not be as valuable as the previous sequence node, but a boost in damage for free is still appreciated. Now lastly, in regards to 1.3, of course we would be seeing brand new limited events and possible permanent additions to the game, such as a new hologram boss, but also additional quality of life updates and new features, which have been a common occurrence with each version update. And it's always amazing to see the amount of stuff being implemented to improve the game, since it really shows how great the devs are. So amongst the multiple updates that will be implemented, personally I would love to see an update in regards to echo leveling, since even now it is still a bit of a pain with leveling up echoes, as we have hardly any leveling material. So either something like adding a new mode in simulation training that can drop echo leveling materials, as it would then allow us to spend 40 stamina for echo leveling materials rather than in tacit fields that consume 60 stamina, or even a reduction in the amount of material needed to max out an echo, especially with the jump from level 20 to level 25 of an echo, since it does require a lot of echo XP. Now another feature I would love to see would be the ability to track multiple echoes at the same time, as it would save you a significant amount of time if you are farming for multiple echoes, as you would be able to clear whole areas in one go, rather than tracking down a second echo after farming for the first one and going back to the same areas you already visited. So for players that are grinding echoes in the open world, I know this would be a great addition to the game, which would save a lot of time. With each update, as I mentioned, the devs drop a ton of quality of life updates and brand new features, which is constantly making the game better and better to the point where there's hardly any issues now. But if there's any features or updates you guys would like to see, I would love to hear them out in the comments down below. Now as for when to expect Camellya's banner. At this point, it's pretty obvious we won't be receiving a new character in the second phase of 1.3, which means we will likely be receiving a Jiyan rerun banner, and since it would line up with the console release of WutheringWaves, it seems like that will be the case. Also, as it has been rumored that 1.4 will jump straight to 2.0, it means the Black Shores arc will be covered across 1.3 and 1.4, since I definitely do expect us visiting a brand new city in 2.0. So with that, it leaves us with a good chance of receiving Camellya's banner in 1.4, and for the second phase, I also do expect to see Yinlin's rerun banner, which would provide players that have already picked up Yinlin with time to save for the massive 2.0 banner. With Camellya specifically, through my own speculation, I do believe she will be our first limited Havoc 5-star character, and is either going to be a Rectifier user or a one-handed sword user. Also, I do expect her to be a main DPS character, so she would definitely synergize with characters such as Danjin, which would provide a Havoc damage bonus increase through her outro skill, and with Havoc Rover, which would have the 4th sequence node by then to allow Camellya to deal increased Havoc damage. So I really do believe Camellya will be dropping in 1.4, since we are starting to receive Black Shore characters from 1.3 onwards, with the first one being the Shorekeeper. Overall, 1.3 is definitely going to be a hype update and will be something to look forward to for sure, especially after the nice break 1.2 has given us. With the Shorekeeper dropping first, I'm sure her banner alone is going to have a lot of players excited for 1.3, but with the new area means more exploration, more echoes, events, and a bunch of new updates, so I'm certain the devs will not disappoint. Now, as great as 1.3 and 1.4 will be, something to just bear in mind, I would definitely expect 2.0 to drop a busted character with a lot of hype. So as of now, I can only think of Yinlin that fits the description, and I'm sure he has a lot of us in a chokehold. So the next few banners will only just be getting better, and even though it does seem like a while away from now till 2.0 drops, I would still advise to just be a bit cautious with your asteroids. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel for more WutheringWaves content, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Also drop a comment down below on what aspect of 1.3 are you more hyped about. And yeah, hope to catch you guys later.